Hey, what's up, everybody? Today I'll be talking about some of the things I've heard about Russian people, some of the stereotypes I've heard about Russian people from the perspective of a Russian person, myself. The first stereotype is that Russian people are all alcoholics, that we drink a lot of alcohol. And sometimes when I say that I'm Russian, people will say, oh, vodka, alcohols, like beer. Just people start bringing up some alcoholic beverages, and that's weird to me because I'm not a drinking person. I don't drink at all. And most of the people that I know, most of the people I'm surrounded by, they also don't drink any alcohol at all. Maybe it's because I'm from this self-development, self-growth circle, people who are kind of into psychology and stuff. That's why maybe I'm kind of surrounded by this community of health conscious and just consciousness people, I would say. So that's why we don't drink. But again, it's just, I wouldn't say that offends me, but it's just it's weird to hear, to me as a person who doesn't drink at all. Of course, alcohol addiction is normalized in Russia, like anywhere else in the world. Of course, it is normalized. And yeah, people also lie to themselves that they need to drink alcohol in order to have fun. You need to drink alcohol to celebrate. You cannot dance unless you're drunk. People also believe this stuff. And also people use alcohol to numb their pain and their anxiety. Just with any other addiction, basically. So of course, we do have alcoholics. We do have alcohol addiction here. Do we have more alcoholics than in other countries? Well, to me it's hard to say because because just people in Russia, it's just easier for them to choose alcohol over other addiction. I googled the alcohol consumption by country, this sort of statistic the other day, and I found that Russia wasn't even in top 10. But Russia is kind of it's branded like this, like we are all alcoholics because we produce vodka or some other. I don't know what else did you get that, because we also some people like to drink, or at least they used to like to drink. Now I'm sure Russian people are moving away from that, moving away from addictions and trying to see the world as is, trying to see the world with their sober eyes, and they trying to focus on growing their family, building their family, growing their life, just prospering, and they're moving away from alcohol. More and more people are moving away from alcohol. So yeah, I think it will be a thing of the past. The second stereotype is that Russian people are emotionless and depressed. And I've heard about this from this one guy. He made this video talking about what kind of stereotypes he had before moving to Russia, or just visiting Russia, probably, I should say. So yeah, and he said that, I thought that they were emotionless, they were depressed and emotionless. Talking about emotionless, I just meet a Russian person in real life, just make a Russian friend, and then talk to me about Russian people being emotionless. Go to like a Russian party, meet like a group of Russian people, become like a part of a Russian group, and you'll see how emotionless they are. The other thing is that Russians are depressed. Russians are depressed. Maybe first of all, because in your media, Russia is portrayed as this corrupt, poor country where people have no prospects for future. So just people are like suffering, and just they're like hardy, and they're ready to withstand any hardships, like with this heroism, with this stoic heroism. So maybe this can contribute to the stereotype. And the other thing is, maybe if you seen some pictures of Russian people like in public places, like walking down like on the sidewalk, or Russian people in the subway, you see that their faces, they're not really smiling. Their faces are not they're usually, there's a frown on their face. They look kind of absorbed in themselves. They don't really they look kind of like this, and that can make you think that they're depressed, that they're unhappy. But in reality, in Russia, it's just not part of our social contract to smile all the time. We just don't expect people to smile. We don't do fake smiles. We don't do forced smiles in Russia, because it just doesn't make sense to me as a Russian person. And we just talk about it all the time, that we compare Americans to Russians, and we say, they smile all the time, they have to smile all the time, this fake, they have to force smile all the time. And we say, we don't understand why, because for Russians, you smile when you're really happy, you smile when you're really excited to see someone, or I know what else. Just in these two cases, you do smile. And yeah, we smile when we're excited, when we're happy. And if we're not, I know, I have my own struggles, I have my own issues, I have my own problems. So of course, I'm in the middle of my thought process. I don't want to waste energy on putting up this smile, like I don't want to waste energy on that. And I don't expect other people, like people in the service, people working in grocery stores, the clerks, I don't know, waiters, I don't expect them to smile. Like, why? How is it supposed to make me feel better? How? Them pretending to smile at me, that's not going to make me feel better. That's uncomfortable to me. Like if there are waiters who are like smiling like this and they're putting on this like mask, that's terrifying. If that makes us depressed, that we only smile when there is a, when we were happy, when there is an emotional kind of, when there is emotional, tie between what we feel and what we show on our face, if that makes us depressed, okay, then sign me as depressed then, I guess. Because in Russia, if you come to Russia and you just smile a lot at people will think that you're some sort of like, people like just probably gonna give you some weird looks if you're just gonna walk and just smile at people. It's kind of a bit weird in Russia. Like if you just walk down the street and you smile at everyone or smile at me, I have like a few explanations. I think probably this, like my first thought is that, oh, he or she recognized me and they probably are smiling. They're like, hey Pasha, and I just can remember who they are. Like hi, do I know you? Like this is my reaction. They smile at me in a public place. Like, do I know you? Like this is my first reaction. My second reaction, okay, maybe they're really excited about something, like just something really, something exciting happened, so they're really happy. Or the other thing is that maybe they are kind of, they're into me, they like me, like romantically. So maybe it's a girl, she likes me, and okay, like I can get that. That's the third explanation that I have. The fourth explanation, the third, I would expect this more. This one, I would expect that this person wants something from me. Maybe it's like a beggar, or like you have Mormons in Russia. We used to, at some point, now we don't have them, but at some point we used to have these people selling some religious literature. They were usually like Hinduism, something that has to do with Hinduism. So these people will come up to you with this like weird smiles. Hello, can I interest you? Like in something, like just this. It's really uncomfortable, and I just like, bye, I'm not interested. So when people smile, they want something from you, right? This is another explanation, or they they're durachok, durachka. You see, we have durak, which is just an offensive word, like stupid person, durak. And we have durachok. Durachok is soft for durak. And it means like, kind of a crazy person, like kind of a weirdo, kind of this crazy person, this crazy, Also, people may think that, oh, he's probably a foreigner. Like, why is he smiling so much? How I remember this American guy, he was talking about this smiling thing, no smiling thing, that he likes it, that he lives in America and that he's happy that people smile all the time. And he told me, when I was a child, like my parents would tell me, go like give money to this cashier, like or something, give her money and say thank you and smile. So his mother tells him to smile, right, when he goes out and interacts with this person. So that's how I feel, that they're, your parents teach you to smile at during every interaction. In Russian, no, we don't do that here. The other stereotype is that Russian people are rude and aggressive. So Russian people are rude. Are Russian people rude? I personally absolutely not think so. I'm surrounded by polite people who offer help all the time. If they see an older person, an older lady, they offer their help. If they see that she's struggling with like some carry-on she has, or some luggage or something, they ask, do you need help? Like, do you need help carrying this grocery bags to home? And if you see a woman, maybe sometimes you can ask, not always, but if you see like it's a heavy, like it's extremely heavy bag, maybe you think about offering your help. And women do not take this as an offense, because why would they? We can offer help. Guys can offer help to other guys. It's not a, sensitive issue that you think I cannot carry them myself. Nobody reacts to that in Russia, usually. I don't expect that, just because you can offer help to another guy because you see that he has like huge bags, like 2 huge bags, and you see that they need help, so you offer your help to this guy, to this man. You just offer your help because a girl can offer her help to another woman, to another to babushka, because she's younger. She has, so it's not like something weird. So I'm surrounded by polite people, kind people. I don't know, what Russians do you talk to? What Russia have you been where people are rude or aggressive? Again, maybe also when Russian people speak English, they're also not always aware of all the shades of politeness and formality and casualness. They're not sure how to use this tools of the English language that allow them to express their politeness, their kind intent. They're maybe not always familiar with that because, for example, if you just take Russian politeness and you transfer it to English language, it doesn't work. In Russian, we just say "Подай, пожалуйста, соль," right? The intonation is kind of polite. The "пожалуйста," I use "пожалуйста" there, which is please. "Подай, пожалуйста, соль." So this is a polite sentence in Russia. If I translate it to English, "Give me the salt, please. Pass me the salt, please." It sounds kind of rude because just pass me the salt, please. Give me that. It kind of sounds kind of rude in English. You would say probably, "Could you pass the salt? Hey, can I ask you? Can you please?" So you just add some things to that to make it sound more polite. Russian people are in Russian language. It's a bit different. We would just use, for example, in English we just have you, right? In Russian we have two yous. We have вы and we have ты. So вы is a more polite, is formal, and ты is casual. So we just switch between them. So we use different means to express politeness in Russian. They don't transfer well to other languages. So that's why maybe when you hear Russian people talk, you may think that they're rude, but they're not rude. They're just intermediate learners, beginner learners of the English language, so they don't know it yet how to be polite, or they maybe don't want to waste their time. Yeah, also, when people speak with a Russian accent in English, it may sound intimidating. I heard people say that Russian accent sounds intimidating. For example, instead of this hey, hello, hi, we use this хорошо, right? So it's like this like kind of harsh sound, right? Harsh sound. Then we roll our R's. So we say да? Хорошо, привет, как дела, ну что, как проработать, да? То есть maybe it sounds kind of intimidating for some people. I don't know. But yeah, and also I'm sure that the fact that people think that Russians are aggressive or rude also has to do with how Russians are portrayed in media. Because yeah, Russians are behind everything. There's always a Russian mafioso who's like the evil mind behind this horrible plan to dismantle the American democracy. Just this absolutely absurd plots that Russians are behind. The Russians are like the plotting and scheming and scamming and poor free people of the West. This is hilarious to me. Yeah, so Russian people are the bad guys usually. So someone with a Russian, or even if they don't tell they're Russian, they have this accent, so they are the bad guy, right? So this is okay, great. Thanks for that, America. So, thanks for portraying us as the bad guys. We appreciate it. You need to have a boogeyman. So if you want to choose Russians for that, great. So yeah, I think this is just because of media and because of how Russian phonetics translates to the English language. I think that's how people may think that. Maybe if you play CS, Counter-Strike, maybe you've seen Russian people who are like swear a lot. They're like cussing, like in Russian, like blah, 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 so saying all this aggressive things. They get triggered easily, and they're just like spitting fire. But I don't see these people. I don't hang out with these people. I don't know. Just these people are the minority. Just like how people imagine Russians like wearing tracksuits, wearing this like hat, like eating, or just drinking beer or vodka, like squatting. These are the gopniks of the 90s. These are the gopniks of the 90s. Even today we don't have these people. So these are the gopniks of the 90s. We call them gopniks because they're the minority. Gopnik is basically like a chav. And gopnik is kind of an offensive word, so you don't want to be called gopnik, and don't use that in public. I don't recommend it. These are like the minority in Russia. It was in the 90s, we had more of them. Now they're this social group, unfortunately, they're on the verge of the extinction. And they're still inhabiting the CSGO servers. But it's hard to find them, in the wild. Hard to witness one in the wild. It depends what places you chose to go. Where do you hang out? It's easy to build your life without witnessing this type of population. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, these are not Russian people. This is the minority we were making fun of ourselves. So these do not represent Russian people. It's like if I was to say, yeah, the Roblox player base reflects the American population. It would sound weird. It would not make sense. To be honest, I think at the end of the day, we are more like each other than we are different from each other. Country to country, nation to nation. But yeah, still. But yeah, the other shit just about behavior that we drink a lot of tea. I think we're obsessed with tea, just like British, basically. But people don't know about it. People talk about beer, vodka. But in reality, the one thing that we actually drink a lot is tea. Like we drink tea during breakfast. We drink tea after lunch. After we had our lunch, yeah, we drink tea with like some sweets and have a conversation with like family members. Especially like if you're in a big family, tea is like a really normal thing. It's just a part of your. I don't know. We have this word "bit." I don't know how you say it in English. Just it's part of your existence, part of your like home life. Drink tea. Yeah, drink tea with sweets. Talk to your family. Talk to your roommates if you live with roommates. It's really normal. Or in the evening after dinner, you also drink some tea. Talk about your day. It's really normal because it's hard to talk when you're eating like just a meal. But when you drink tea, it's easy to talk. And the other thing is that in Russia, we didn't drink this Indian tea. We didn't drink this tea, Chinese tea, Indian tea. We had our own tea, and it was a herbal tea. It was it's like a different type of plant from this. So, and then it gets substituted with this Indian and Chinese tea. So right now what we have as tea is not the original Russian tea. So it was Ivan chai, what was the original Russian tea that we used to drink all the time. So now this one that has caffeine, this one that, we're not sure if it's healthy, this is not the tea that we traditionally drink. And some people are kind of coming back to this old school tea that we used to drink called Ivan chai. I'm gonna try to find what's the English name for that plant. So yep, guys, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about the Russians or the Russian language, please write me a comment. I'll like to see from you. And thank you, guys. See you in another video. Goodbye.